Slam Jam Show. Yes, the Slam Jam Show. Oh yeah, yeah, it's the Slam Jam Show. What you gonna do? You dig us? You think you know me? It's the Slam Jam Show. Bang your neck, slam beat and you woo. Wanna rush? It's the Slam Jam Show. Get coffee, pay the have a nice day. We're hitting the league, it's the Slam Jam Show. With David Corey, David Gab, baby. DJ is set, get the table. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see if Chico, you'll be serving hot down. Oh, yes, Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. And calling the Slam Jam Wrestling Show. We're live, well, it's the big show. You got no chance, we're in gorilla booking. History is best for what if you spell what we're cooking. It's the Slam Jam Wrestling Show, the champion team. Step into the Slam Jam, the Slam Jam Show. Hey yo, it's true, it's the Slam Jam Show. We've been through, it's the Slam Jam Show. Big glass, woman ass, the Slam Jam and Show, yeah.
Okay, and we are now live. TJ, hello. Well, TJ's with me. He's currently muted. I've got like this light on here. I'll just say about this, and it's making me look like I am like from the depths of hell. So maybe I'll tone that down a bit. Oh, my green screen's going crazy. Wait, I've now got two TJs. I think Gav is joining us. But welcome to Slam Jam, where we make sure all of the technical difficulties happen when the show begins. So TJ will be with us at some point, but we are currently on the road to WrestleMania. And I guess, oh, hang on, here comes TJ. We've got two
Can you
TJs.
hear
We've
me?
got two TJs. Hello, TJ. And
Okay,
oh, here,
that's weird.
and here come. Oh, there's Gav, and we had
How
two
you doing?
TJs. I'm good. How you doing, Gav?
Good, thanks.
Good. TJ, where are
Hey.
you?
I am somewhere outside of Venice. I don't know if I can change my camera to show, but well, somewhere.
That's Venice. Well,
Oh,
outside.
that's
of
outside. I'm outside of Venice. I'm outside of
That's where
Venice,
the war sports.
but I'm going home. I had to pick something up. I had a package that I needed to get delivered, but they sent it in the wrong address, and I needed it by tomorrow. And
Yeah, I think this, as much as I'm loving this story, I feel like we're getting wildly like Venice sounds interesting. Unless it's
Yeah.
a small package, it is off topic, right?
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
we are on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's been quite a few days in the world of professional wrestling. Pat
Mhm.
McAfee is
Pat
back.
McAfee.
heel turn. That was what's so funny about that is there was a clip of Pat McAfee like from the last day or this morning, whenever it was, and he was just like, where did that come from? Now, I don't know. If I had to guess which way he votes, then it's probably right. But if he doesn't, or if it's just a case of his name sounds like it's an easy pun on McAfee, it works really well. It got a nice reaction from the crowd.
But I mean, I don't know, but WWE is kind of the MAGA company right now, so
Well, it is.
Kind of
Triple H
fits.
works for Donald Trump.
Yeah. Hall of Famer Donald Trump.
Hall
Yeah,
of Famer,
WWE
Hall of
Hall of
Famer
Fame.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, beyond that, it was pipe bomb. Was this pipe bomb 2.0? Because I feel like there's been several pipe bombs.
There's been a few, but I don't know if they're big as this one, like compared to the first one. But
Mhm.
This one was weird because I feel like it became a pipe bomb towards like the end.
Yeah.
At the beginning, obviously he sat cross-legged in the ring, but he was getting watted. He was getting watted quite bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like he stood up to change the rhythm of the room.
I think what he done in the ring was the pro wrestling thing, and it was like to promote the match with Roman. But I think when he jumped outside, it was just like, okay, now I've done my part for the WrestleMania build or whatever. Now let's go to the real thing, kind of thing.
Do you think like 10 minutes before Triple H had said, "Look, you're dropping the belt at Mania," and Punk was like, "Screw this." Right? I'm out here.
I have a feeling that Triple H sent him out there to do that.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he didn't mention Triple H at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which would be difficult for him to do because it's now that him and Triple H are friends.
Yeah.
There is nowhere to go with a Triple H CM Punk feud of any kind. You know, Triple H doesn't want to be seen as the heel authoritarian character anymore. So that he's just making TKO the bad guys, which is interesting to do.
But I think this is another ploy on. Sorry.
No, go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I think this is a ploy as well on TKO part to address the tickets so that they can actually then drop them. Maybe it's that.
Yeah.
I think that's a hell of a good point. It's relevant as well. I forget when it is. It might be, I think it's in June. But I saw it came up on my Facebook feed today about WWE Raw at the O2 Arena. And I was like, I never remember to look at these. Like the cheapest ticket was like £150.
Right, the nosebleeds.
Yeah, in the absolute gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could easily pay over £800 for some of the seats still available.
Yeah. And it's just ridiculous. Because I was there thinking of going and taking my little ones as well. And I was just like, nah, it's not worth it.
Okay, so how much would it cost you, like, family? Like, if it's like, say,
family?
5, it's going to be
for
like
4 of us. That'd be easily £800 in the nosebleeds.
In the nosebleeds. Well, because here's the thing. So the cheapest one, the worst one was like 145. Probably what happens is that is the random single tickets that get left on their own.
Yeah.
And then like so many others were like 230, 250. And so you're spending £1,000.
Yeah. I mean, was it almost 2 years ago? I took my family to see at the O2. So same arena. It was actually on the aisle seats. And the aisle seats, like for the 4 of us, that was £800. And I didn't even really want to play that at that time. But £800 in the nosebleed, hell no.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't really like the world has changed and money has changed, and I feel like I haven't quite caught up or grasped it yet. But I feel like a front row ticket should be like £100 in my head.
Yeah,
and it should be like, £40 to go see the wrestling, and it's like, okay, I'll pay that, but that's nothing, but crazy stuff.
There's a show.
Yeah, go on, TJ.
There's a show happening in Turin 1 month after WrestleMania, and I looked at the prices, and it's more like decent seats would cost me more than my monthly rent in Venice.
That's crazy.
And that's just decent seats.
Yeah. You get to sit there for 3 hours, or you get to sit at home for an entire month.
Exactly.
No, it's crazy. So it was really interesting, and you might be right. This may be a way of them. It wasn't ice cream bars this time. It was something a little bit more real that they need to address. So Pat McAfee, though, he then came back saying about, why would you highlight that you can't sell out WrestleMania?
But he's freaking. I was going to say, he actually put down the whole WWE anyway with his promo. He was like Pat.
Oh yeah, McAfee.
Yeah, he just killed it off. He was just like, it's going to crap. Randy's going to save it, and he was just going off a bit. Like, it's just like, why are you going to bury the product?
Yeah, it's interesting because as a heel, being Randy Orton's. Oh, here comes Dave. Randy Orton's what? What is he? Is he his manager? His corner man? Are they starting a faction? Dave.
Hey,
Oh, we have another run in.
Another run in. Yeah.
another run in.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not going to be as disappointing as SmackDown, which I guess you're talking about.
You know what?
Can
I've
I-
only seen highlights of SmackDown. I was away over the weekend, so I missed a
I
lot of the
throw in-
horrible. Yeah, go for it, TJ.
Can I throw in a bad joke since I'm on the road and I can actually run? Would this be an actual run in?
Wait. Okay.
Go drop.
Well, right. You show speed
Anyway.
there. Right. Bye. And you're done. Yeah, I love that. I didn't even recognize who everyone was on that. Obviously, AI changed WrestleMania poster with Jelly Roll, I Show Speed, Pat McAfee. It should have had Logan Paul there because I think he still is on the fringe of being a celebrity wrestler. And then a couple of people who I didn't recognize. But WrestleMania has always had like celebrity involvement, and arguably, I'd say that they're not like Pat McAfee has obviously been involved for a fair while. I Show Speed has dipped in and out, so has Jelly Roll. But they're not like these are A-list celebrities. It's like
Exactly.
sporty people. What is Jelly Roll? Is he a singer?
He's a singer, yeah.
Is he a big deal? I don't know. Right?
In America, he is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I Show
honestly
Speed's
had
an internet guy. So go on, TJ.
I honestly had no clue who Jelly Roll was before they introduced him, before he started appearing on WWE television. Like, I literally had no clue. When I heard Jelly Roll's involved, I'm like, is this some kind of new gimmick for someone? Is this a new wrestler? Because I can see WWE naming someone Jelly Roll. Like, I had no clue who this guy was.
That would be like what Vince McMahon would have given as an alternative name for Piper
Yeah.
Niven. What did he rename her at one point?
Do drop.
What was it? Dewdrop? Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
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 Dewdrop.
That it's like an alternative tugboat name, isn't it? Like, and here
Uh-huh.
comes Jelly Roll. But yeah, so guys, what's on anyone's mind? What do you want to talk about?
Have we talked about the excuse me, as I said, pipe bomb?
We've
Overall?
dabbled in it, but we
Yeah,
can
dabbled,
keep going. So what was your take on it, Dave?
I only watched it today, but I thought it. I think with a lot of, it's arguable that a lot of bad sort of media and things like that, or bad stories and things like that, are the case of if you can end strongly and begin reasonably well, it doesn't matter about the middle, and that pretty much was exactly what the pipe bomb was. It ended
Agreed.
strong, with a sort of like what felt actually real, and the rest of it was just. This is what I did with the pipe bomb. I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Yeah, I hate Roman Reigns. If it was actually a pipe bomb, actually a shoot, it would have been, I'm Phil Brooks, and this is why I don't like Joe Anoa'i. And so it would have been a case of that sort of thing. So it's like, it's that filtered shoot promo. We're going to shoot, cowboy. So that sort of like filtered sort of stuff there. But then when it got on to like Pat McAfee and the sort of the stuff about his agent, that stuff, I thought, okay, that's blurring the lines enough, because
Yeah,
I think that's quite blurring the lines, and like bringing up a hot topic issue, which is the prices of the shows and not being family friendly and things like that, and the fact that Mania hasn't sold out, I think was that was a better way of doing it in the terms of the anti-authority, anti-hero pointing that out, rather than the heel McAfee making a deal of that we haven't sold out WrestleMania because everyone's too bothered about two midgets being in a Iron Man match or whatever it was he said, which was just the stupidest fucking thing. I thought he could possibly said, basically shitting on the product, which we all know is a bit rubbish anyway. But they can't acknowledge them being crap. It's like it's just I find it very. I think it reeks of desperation a little bit, I think. And they're thinking, we're going to take these things and we're going to do what we did on the behind the scenes, the what was it called, the backstage Unreal, yeah. And that whole thing there where they're trying to control the reality of what's going on in the backstage area, and it just reeks of desperation to me. And there's no, I don't know, there's no artistry to it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so one of the interesting things, I was just trying to find out what the capacity for the Allegiant Stadium is. Is this the exact same place where WrestleMania was last year?
Yeah,
Last year, yeah, that's what's hurting them as well.
Yeah, that's going to hurt them. That's crazy. And it's Vegas. That's going to be super expensive.
Right.
Anyone.
Because like the thing is, if you've gone out there last year, you're not going to be wanting to like us internationally. We won't go again, would we? Because we want to go somewhere else. So
yeah, exactly. If you're going to fly out to the United States 2 years in a row, you will feel like, oh well, we went there last year. Again, if it's like, well, I'm taking the family. Vegas was fun. We'll be like, oh yeah, we liked this restaurant last time. Yeah. It was dumb. This is dumb.
That famous family-friendly city that is Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it is. I think it is. Obviously, there's all the shows and stuff there. But okay, so last year attendance night 1 was 58,000 and odds and sods. Night 2 was 60,000, and this is a few days old. But night 1, as of 4 or 5 days ago, had sold 38,000, and night 2 had sold 40,000. So they're both 20,000 down a night. That's insane for WrestleMania. I can't wait. I still hope they do and they have someone to announce the attendance figures. Record breaking,
A record-breaking lowest ever turnout for WrestleMania.
Yeah, they should literally do it. Stood within the sea of empty seats in the what was it called in AEW? The dark, not dark cam, the hard cam section.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You could also do a thing where someone does try and really over accentuate how many have actually they've sold and give some random number and just have Bret Hart standing next to him going,
yeah.
Oh man. Okay, what else happened on Raw? Liv Morgan and
wait, before we move from this, can I add something? Because I've been having this conspiracy about the pricing and how WWE product, how they're generally writing the product for a long time. So I feel it. Let me just stop because I can't do this while I'm walking. I feel for
Spinaroonie. Right, okay. Go ahead.
You want me to do a Spinaroonie?
Yes, please.
So
get the camera down.
I feel WWE has been trying to push this narrative that the whole best for business idea. They are trying to ingrain this very, very subtly in the minds of fans. Because if you look at the online discourse, if you look at discourse about AEW and you're like, okay, this product, let's say you don't like an AEW story or something in AEW, and the fans would be like, no, this is the best thing ever. It's always a discourse about the quality of the product or the match. With WWE, it's often, but it's going to draw them money. But we use Jelly Roll or we use Ice Show Speed or we use, I don't know who else, because it's going to draw them money. It has become the entire Rock, Cody, Roman Reigns thing. The idea was that Rock versus Roman is going to sell more. But why do I as a fan, why do I care about what sells more? I want a good story. I want good matches. Why should I care what makes them more money? But there is a huge section of the fans whose main discourse online is that this is going to make WWE more money. So I feel like they have been trying to push this narrative, and with the thing with Pat McAfee, eventually it's going to be they can book whatever they want, but the hardcore WWE marks are going to be but this is going to make them money. I don't care if it drains my bank account. I don't care if it's crap product. It's still going to make them money. So they're trying to change the narrative from storylines or wrestling to business moves. That's what I think is happening. That's why they don't really care about how good or bad the product is.
Yeah,
that's my theory.
No, I absolutely agree. There is a huge aspect of well, like for years, people like, why are wrestling fans particularly caring about the ratings? The only reason why we
Exactly.
care about the ratings or the attendance is, oh, if they're in a good place, they can keep doing it, which means we can keep enjoying it. But somewhere along the way, wrestling more than most other types of entertainment, you don't hear about ratings and attendance for other sports that I ever follow, or TV shows or move. You might hear about, oh, how much did it make at the box office for a movie, but unless it's something like, oh, this cracked $1 billion at the box office, no, I don't ever look up what something does at the box office for the cinema. Who cares? As long as it's a good movie and it does well enough if you want there to be a sequel. But like, wrestling fans have hyper focused in. It's all WCW Nitro's fault. We every week because it's like a metric where we can compare one brand versus another, and with wrestling, because it's not like you don't follow a team excuse me, like you'd follow like a football team or whatever. It's like, I have to follow this brand, and you rally behind it, and you look for metrics by which it can dominate over other brands. And like, even though AEW is a thing, like the Monday Night War is 25 years gone, and yet we're still like, oh, this is gonna make them money or stuff like that. Now, I want Danhausen to make some monies, but other than that, I don't really care.
The funny thing is, it's like when they say, "Oh, this is our biggest grossing event," and then the fans are like, "Wow!" It's like,
Yeah.
why are you clapping for that?
Take
like,
my money.
yeah. You idiots.
Great.
I don't know.
My kids aren't eating next week, but you made this money. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so coming on to Liv Morgan sprouting an extra head out of the middle of her head. And did Roxanne Perez have
Sorry,
one?
I wanted to add one more thing. Did you guys see the
You really don't like
the
Liv Morgan
Reddit-
and Roxanne Perez, do you,
Yeah.
TJ?
What have you got against Liv Morgan, damn it?
Huh?
No, it's all right. God,
Sorry,
TJ.
just to add, did you see the Reddit thread where one person said that, so this guy is probably MAGA, and his daughter went on, I think, a Democrat protest, and he was like, I'm going to cut out her tuition for college, and I'm going to use it to buy WWE tickets. Like, literally boasting about, I'm going to use it to buy WWE tickets. So if you have this audience who's like, yeah. So I don't know if you saw that. It was on Squared Circle on Reddit.
I didn't see it, but I did see that Dev is here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dev. I don't know if we can hear you or you're just not talking.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, Liv Morgan's got an extra head growing out of her head. I'm gonna see if we can actually.
David, before we talk about that, can we just
Right. Oh my god, it is unreal. I think we can, like, they're sharing it on socials. It's not
one.
like, this is just unbelievable. Hang on, let's make sure there's nothing dodgy. I love Stephanie Vicaire sharing that as well. That is hilarious. But that is an insane lump. She literally is turning into a Klingon.
I'm glad to see Liv in the picture, but like, I want to see if Raquel. Roxanne. Yeah, she was motionless after that.
I am reading at the moment that they both got put on a concussion protocol.
Yeah,
oh, it doesn't surprise me. Look how pleased he is that he no longer has the biggest head in the judgment.
Speaking of that, look at the chat, like Facebook chat messenger.
What this? Oh, Facebook. What? Okay, hang on. I can't bring up Facebook on the screen though.
What? Sorry.
Okay, hang on. Oh my god, that is an amazing coincidence because I hadn't seen that. But that is brilliant. Okay. Jesus. That is horrible. That is one of the. There's been a few of those in wrestling, but I can't remember any other prominent ones. Do you remember when Cena's nose was like turned sideways?
Yeah. Or like CM Punk's elbow.
Oh, do you know what elbow lace? It's like when it's your face. Like if you're Liv Morgan and like your face is like a part of like your whole image and everything like this, or you're senior and it's like I've got to go shoot a movie, and your
I
face
think
is
the
just smashed
worst
in.
visual injury was Joey Mercury, wasn't it?
Was who?
Joey Mercury.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, obviously because his face was like caved in,
Exploded.
but it wasn't just like a lump or a twist. There was obviously like bleeding and broken bones and stuff.
There
Go
was
on.
Jericho in a Royal Rumble a number of years ago, I think 2002, I want to say. He got an errant kendo stick shot from Tommy Dreamer, and it's just smacked him right across the head, and like had a similar thing, sort of like thing for the rest of his performance in the Rumble.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, just-
It's just one of these unfortunate things. Now, the interesting thing is just this is the only photo which I've seen of Roxanne showing what happened to her.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't look quite as bad, but I'm sure she thinks it's just as bad. But yeah, she perhaps didn't want to share it for everyone in the same way.
Yeah, that was a bit scary how she went down like that.
Yeah.
When she didn't move.
You could literally hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the sound was like equally terrifying to when Steve Macklin took the super kick.
Oh,
Okay,
I
hang
didn't see this bit, but yeah.
Oh, do you know, we'll go on to that in 1 second here. There's just something which is kind of like a weird coincidence thing here. I think that this is appropriate. I know it's appropriate. Someone is going to make a meme involving what's just happened to her and her popping jellies, because it looks like she's popping the lump from her head. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm being a bit mean-spirited, but she's okay, so it's okay.
I don't want to know what was going on in that video.
No, it was just it's just
popping
like
jellies, cool, whatever. So,
I don't know
sorry,
what they are. I assume
Uh,
it's like an alcoholic
During
beverage.
was it TNA sacrifice or something? Santana accidentally legitimately super kicked Steve Macklin, knocking him out clean, and they had to like stop the match immediately.
He was okay though, right? It was just
yeah.
But still,
well,
if
he's
you
now,
got
yeah,
knocked
but
out,
it wasn't at the time.
Yeah, because it was like what was like critical was the fact that it was immediately stopped, which brought parallels to the OVW thing.
Well, yeah, that was right. Look, his well, I don't, we don't have to bring up. It doesn't look too bad, right? But we can just see because
but it's
yeah, okay. But look, so for what happened,
the sound
I don't think it was any particular mistake because that just it didn't look like a Goldberg Bret Hart thing. He just caught him slightly.
Got him in the chin, yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
He just got in the sweet spot and just completely knocked him.
And boom, he's out. You can see he's out there, just
get his
down
hand
off the ropes. Yeah.
It sounds worse than it. Like it legitimately sounds worse than it is because it sounds like his jaw broke off.
Well, I haven't heard it. So, was that the main event?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I've said this before. Pro wrestling, as part of their procedure. So for anyone in the biz that's watching who can affect this, you need to have a backup plan.
I did.
For at least main. What was their backup plan?
I did. Eddie Edwards came out with his. He's got like one of those guaranteed title shot things, and he came out to sort of try and cash in and end up in a bit of a brawl with Santana. So they ended with them going.
Okay, well,
a table spot or something.
Yeah.
At the
so
end.
if it was a guaranteed cash in, do you think that they had that planned anyway, though, or?
It might have done something for afterwards, maybe not necessarily
Yeah.
cash in, but something maybe would happen.
I
So
think
Eddie
you
was
always
standby.
need to have whatever your match is. You need to work out if probably just for the main events, or if there's a particularly big match, you should probably just have for any because if it's just a second match of the show on SmackDown, who cares? Matt Cardona's wrestling, Ray Phoenix, who cares? Just go to the next segment. But if there's something where it's like, if this match is stopped early, we're in an awkward situation, then you need to know who is your backup guy that's going to run down. If this person gets injured, who's going to run in? If this person gets injured, who's going to run in? Who's going to run in and suddenly make the tag if someone's injured in a tag match? Tag match you can kind of get around, but the point is they just need to have a contingency department.
They should have Danhausen do it the entire just have Danhausen be the emergency guy.
So wait, so Steve Macklin gets knocked down, and they're like, Danhausen, roll out from under the ring, and they're just like, he cursed him, right? Again,
Well, he goes to the enemy, like he goes to the other guy who danced around for a bit while they take Macklin away.
yeah. I am very, very sympathetic for these actual injuries. I know it doesn't sound like I am, but I am actually sympathetic. Everyone's okay. So,
Speaking of, have we discussed the most infamous legitimate injury happening on camera, ending up in the Hall of Fame?
what?
Sid.
Yeah. Well, that is definitely a contender for the most horrific injury. And the crazy thing, if you were watching back in the day, is they then showed it on Nitro the next night, like as trying to get ratings. I literally turned that Nitro off at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Sid is going into the Hall of Fame. Have they announced anyone else is going into the Hall of Fame recently?
No, they just announced Hogan v Andre at Mania 3 was the moment match or whatever.
Okay, here's the question: if Hogan hadn't died, would that have gone in this year?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, possibly.
They don't have any more much more moments. What they're gonna do? Put the ending of WrestleMania 20 or something?
No, in a few years' time. Well, actually, the Hardy Boys aren't in there yet, but in their return at WrestleMania should go in before they do. Actually, that would be funny. Their return at WrestleMania should go in before they do.
Yeah.
Who accepts that award for Hogan and Andre?
Andre's daughter?
Andre has a daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
And she's friends with Ronnie Piper's daughter.
Okay. Andre the Giant daughter.
You should get Andre the Giant Panda to accept it.
Panda?
Have you not seen Andre the Giant Panda?
No.
Okay, it's amazing.
Gotta get a clip of it.
Right.
It's literally a Japanese wrestler that is a giant panda inflatable suit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he headbutts people.
I don't think she's tall. That's a shame.
No, she's not tall. Like that.
Okay, fair enough. What else? What other things were of note from Raw or SmackDown this week, guys, that we haven't gone over?
I actually watched Stand and Deliver.
You did?
Yeah, I watched that and Raw and SmackDown for I don't know why. Speaking of like things that shouldn't like be repeated, like if they were going for so on Raw, there was a CM Punk promo where he shits on like management and like WWE and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like a shoot unscripted promo.
Yeah.
If it is, why did they upload it everywhere afterwards?
What was that?
Ratings, money. Yeah, you know, so yeah, it's all about the money. Like, because the crazy thing is, if they took something down, unless it's like some horrific injury where you want to edit it out, if they take something out to try to sell that it's real, then all that would happen is whoever recorded it online the first time round, they'll just upload it and they'll be making the money. But I've said this before as well. This is a pro wrestling conspiracy, I believe. A lot, if pro wrestling companies are smart, a lot of the social media accounts that are leaking stuff or sharing the stuff that's not meant to be shared should be owned by WWE and AEW and TNA themselves. So that the things that it seems like they shouldn't be sharing, they're still the ones doing it. You can control these elements. But yeah, so let's talk about SmackDown then. So Randy Orton, we know who he was on the phone call to. It wasn't Ted DiBiase Jr. It wasn't Matt Riddle. It was Pat McAfee. That they're reforming RK Akafee, right? Whatever this non-existent friendship relationship that we had zero knowledge of. But I guess Pat McAfee just couldn't confirm that he was available for WrestleMania in time to get a match.
What pees me off a bit more about that So I actually stayed up to watch that. I actually stayed up specifically to watch that. And when it happened, I was just like, no, I cannot believe this.
I was wishing
Yeah.
they opened up with early.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And
Like,
the reason
you're
it's
tired, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you don't care about the story. You're just like,
Yeah.
I could have been asleep.
Yeah.
I would have taken Vince.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The reason that annoys me so much is, okay, so the guy who made the decision is like the head of TKO, who is Ari something, who I know tangentially because I used to watch Entourage a lot, and there's a fictional version of him in Entourage.
Okay.
So I looked the real guy up and found out his like history and like what he did in entertainment, and he's the biggest movie star manager and stuff in the industry, and now he's the head of TKO, and he shoehorned in McAfee into the storyline, trying to make him a star, like a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
Oh, we just lost TJ. I'm just so interested. Like, his walk has been so long.
Yeah. Where the hell is TJ going?
He's walking to TKO. You're gonna give him a piece of his mind.
He's
Walk
on his
into the
way to
office and
make
say, no,
WrestleMania.
TKO no more. This is TJO.
Yeah.
But the thing that
God. Hang on, guys. I've just got something to share with you here. This is an unbelievable. I don't know what this is. She's fine, right? I don't know who she is. She gets up there. She twerks. Good for her. But she's about to
way.
take a dive, and you see the
No.
height here. That's an insane height. At
Not
an indie
there.
show. Look, you can see how many people are there to catch her.
No
I
way.
assume she's fine.
Did it miss?
No, she doesn't miss. I wouldn't be showing it if she missed. Okay, watch that. Oh my god, that is insane.
Where is this?
I don't know. If we go back here, it says Battle of the Champions. And what does that say? Something.
Can you
I
enlarge it? I
can't read
can't see what's said.
I can't read it, I'm afraid.
Can you enlarge it?
Yeah, but I have to take it onto a different screen. Look, bear with me, guys. Oh, here comes TJ.
All right.
Right, let me just take it onto a different screen because
All right,
otherwise I
okay.
won't be able to see the stream
Oh,
anymore.
it's called Battle of Champions.
Battle. Okay. That doesn't really help. Right, so this is as large as I can get it. Battle of the Champions. And that I don't know if that's the name of the company, and it looks like it's wherever it's happening. Something dance competition. What? This is okay.
Huh?
Well, they say it ain't ballet. It turns out it might be ballet. That may not be a clue.
Okay, it says, what does it say here? It says Brian A. Cabanan. This is, I don't know what it says. I don't think it's English.
Yeah. I don't know. Some Isabella. I don't know. Right. Oh, here comes TJ again.
That's even madder if it's a dance competition rather than a wrestling show. That's
It can't be an actual dance.
No, what a finish.
Right. Let's. I'll click on it. See what the comments say. What show is this even? And someone says probably some dance show. Wow. The only thing that would have made it better if they'd just got like, I know New Jack isn't with us anymore, but just like if New Jack had just been up there to do the throw, right?
or if that whole competition, that whole routine was done to natural born killers.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Anyway, guys, what are we thinking in terms of where we're heading for WrestleMania? Raw. Obviously, we had Brock and Oba, and they were throwing about chairs and stairs, and it was like steel chairs. It was like this goddamn chair. It was a massive chair, and like lobbing it, and it was just hitting the back of people.
And like, the
And
thing
it's
is, one over, and he just went down. And I was just like, "There, that's pretty good." Like that aim to do that.
I need them to start throwing people at each other.
They should do. Oh, that would have been brilliant, man.
Like having like a security guard just like
throw the chair, and Oba just picks up like a guy. And imagine if like Brock then just picks up
Michael
Triple
Cole.
H. Who else was in the ring?
Adam Pearce.
Jason Jordan
Adam
and
Pearce,
Yeah.
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 That was good. I'm glad that was the main event of Raw. Because that match could easily just be. It's not going to be a super long match. I don't think anyone expects that. But it could easily just be, this 11 or 7 minute fight. Oberá upsets him, which at this point shouldn't be an upset, but obviously it'd be the biggest win of his career. Or Brock gets the win. But it wouldn't feel like a main event. But giving it main event TV time makes it feel a big deal.
Yeah.
This has probably got the best build of the whole entire card, I think.
Well, it's probably the only match which is what they actually intended a few months ago.
Yeah.
True.
Because, we can get onto it in a bit, but Seth and Gunther is it'll be a good match, but it's the most thrown together, high profile match I think I've ever heard of.
Imagine they say Seth has to retire if we do this.
Should be.
I was going to say, funny enough, I think I posted it in the chat because obviously we thought it was going to be Ray that was going to be retired at WrestleMania. And it's just like Ray comes out the week after that match gets announced. It's just like, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Basically.
Maybe Ray was just like, I don't want to have the Gunther retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also say that I think that they, even though you say that Seth and Gunther has been thrown together, I think they have now made a good use of the Heyman factor with the whole favors thing, because obviously he says, "Oh, I owe you an apology," and Gunther saying, "Oh, you owe me more than an apology." And
yeah, but just because he says it.
but it's like no, but Gunther's like, he's intimidating enough to like make sure that Heyman follows through with obviously what's going to be a favor, which is then going to lead on to Gunther and Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Okay, Dave. Don't forget, you owe me a favor, and because I've said it, at some point I will be retiring you. Right?
Yeah, well, you didn't actually do anything for me, so you can't just say you got me. I owe you a favor when you haven't actually done a favor for me.
I saved you from TJ. I don't see him anymore, do you? So Gunther, I think that is an interesting aspect. Just putting something with Heyman in there. Oh, thank you, sir, for doing this. And obviously that's just going to lead to something later. It's not going to have anything to do with this story with Seth. So they're just going to have a good match, probably.
Are we going to have the ninjas or not?
Oh, God, no. I hope not.
Sorry,
Why?
The Seth ninjas.
The Seth Ninjas, the Mighty Morphin Seth Rollins Rangers.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably do something with that, and Gunther will just chop it through every single one of them to get to Seth.
Yeah.
That's what I probably will do, because Bron Breakker just got cleared apparently as well, so he'll probably get that match and cost Rollins the match, so they can then go back to Breakker and Rollins.
Okay, how about Bron runs in to attack Seth, and then the next night they have Seth versus Bron on night 2. And then when Bron and Gunther are both beating up Seth, Rey Mysterio runs out to help Seth. And then on night 2, Gunther versus Rey, and he retires him.
Haven't they announced on the cards, though, because they've done the official cards for each night now, haven't they? And I think isn't like Brock, Ober, and the ladder match going to be on like the first hour on ESPN?
Yeah.
On that night, there's another 2 matches on the other night as well.
Wait, they're not on the main card?
No, they'll be on the main card. They're broadcasting the first hour of Mania on. Yeah,
there was no way Brock is taking a pre-show paycheck.
And they've said who's, and they said that they've announced who the matches are that they'll be in that hour. It's
basically for them to get a taster, so that the people get the free WrestleMania matches. And then buy into it.
Yeah, I hope they do what AEW's been doing, where just they start doing fireworks and stuff in the middle of the match to signal that the show is now actually official.
Whenever they do pyro, Cody shows up.
Do that, didn't they?
What's that?
Okay, go on, Dev.
I was saying, whenever there's pyro, Cody will show up.
Yeah,
just I heard there's pyro going.
Which night do you think has got the better lineup so far, everyone?
Two.
Two.
Overall?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Punk,
I think one.
Roman, Ober, Brock.
The ladder match.
Yeah, ladder match. But that's just like, oh, let's just throw a load of people in there to do some crazy stuff.
I'd have probably swapped the IC title match from the night one and swapped it with one of the others on night two, just so you balance out the women's matches a little bit more. Quite a lot of them on the first night and not as many on the second.
Yeah, true.
And
So
also
three
in the
women's
group chat, add another match to it, make more all a 7-match card. And
You know what?
you could, even though there probably aren't really any like WrestleMania worthy opponents, you could still have Priest and Truth defending the tag titles against someone in like a multi-team match or something like that. A tournament match or something. And get people on the card.
From what I can see, there's a very important match missing.
Which is?
Americanos. They should be on the card.
What,
They're going to be on
Americano?
WrestleMania.
No, that they can be on Triple Mania.
Americano versus Americano should be on
They're gonna be on
actual
SmackDown.
media.
They're going to do that on Triple Mania. That's what they're going to
Yeah.
do.
Huh.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that is one, the main attraction of Triple Mania currently. And two, in WWE, I said this probably, I can't remember if we had a show last week or a couple of weeks ago, that the logic doesn't work in America because Chad being the face,
Yeah.
like, no, I don't think he's that. He worked as a heel Americano in America,
Yeah.
and it was working in Mexico. But Kaiser really works as a face in Mexico,
Yeah.
and where Chad
Yeah.
is therefore the heel. But switching them in America, I don't think people particularly care about that match.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I was going to say, Pete Dunne, I forgot their names, Bravo and Rayo.
Butch.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
Bravo and Rayo.
They were brilliant on Stand and
NXT.
Deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant match. Yeah.
I didn't see. I know nothing of what happened on Stand and Deliver.
Was it a good show? Because I haven't really seen
Very
it.
good show.
Very good.
Do you agree with some of the match results? I thought it was a little bit. I thought Sol Ruka beating Zarya. I thought might have been wrong call on that particular one.
I was going to say, I thought that would have been lengthened out, but I did see
Yeah.
NXT. I see it like last night. So they are putting that forward still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think they would have been.
Ruka's a guaranteed call up, isn't she? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah. And I like how in the main event was really good as well because it was like the main draw was Tony D saying, "I'm the only NXT original. Everyone else came from other companies."
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not.
Oh wait,
fan,
D'Angelo won.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
So I was there thinking that means that, what's his name? Say his name, Joe. He's going to be called up, isn't he?
Mm.
You
Maybe.
think?
You know, like last year at WrestleMania, Joe Hendry wrestled Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It should have been Joe Hendry on the phone to him. Like,
Yeah.
had that really? Who was he meant to be wrestling? Who was Orton meant to be wrestling at
Owens.
Mania last year? Oh, Kevin
That's
Owens.
it,
Yeah.
Oh, it would have even been better if it was Kevin Owens that then came out to be in his
Anyone.
Been great.
That would have been great. You know, that somehow that they'd like got on the same page, that we didn't have this match that we were meant to have last year. You know, he hates Cody.
Do you know what?
Oh my god, that would have been perfect.
But I'm going to give, if you wanted a celebrity, I can't even talk. Travis Scott. Bean.
It might happen still. No, it won't. Only because he burned a bridge, didn't he? By
Yeah.
he didn't want to do the match.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't know if there's ever been a time though where there's been more celebrity wrestlers than what there is now. It's going to be interesting because
Wrestlers or involvement?
Sorry,
Because if it's involvement versus celebrity involvement, the first one beats it. The first main.
Like, they're literally they're proper like wrestling now. Jelly Roll,
yeah.
you know, has matches. Pat McAfee's had like, you know, these people have had matches on pay-per-view. Now, I Show Speed is kind of like he's going to be interesting because obviously he came into the Rumble, he could do a nice backflip, but then he got destroyed by Braun, and that's his moment. But now he's literally going to have a match.
Was it WrestleMania 11 that had all the celebrities
Well,
as well?
ISO Speed? I don't think so.
Like one of it was like one or two. Was it Pavarotti when they had like that's when we like seeing
Pavarotti never went to WrestleMania, mate.
Pavarotti, yes, the third
Oh,
natural disaster.
Yeah,
they have
Pamela
like King
Anderson.
Joker and like Mr. T and
Oh my god, I'm going to use
Liberace was
Liberace. Yeah, Liberace.
Yeah.
Ah, I love the idea of it being Pavarotti.
But like 11 had like Pamela Anderson. And who was the other girl? Oh, I forgot her name.
From what? Sorry.
Pam Anderson at WrestleMania 11.
Oh, what was her name? Jenny.
That's it. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then you had like who else was there? There was loads of people.
The lad from Home Improvement was.
That's it.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
That's the
That's
one.
it.
And who's the
Salt and
guy?
Pepper. Salt and Pepper as well with Brett.
The R&B like group.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? They should have it in like England again and bring back Chris Tarrant.
What the
Chris
hell?
Tarrant, is he still alive?
Okay, so there was like a WWE show where the camera panned over Chris Tarrant and he got the biggest pop of the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a reference to talking about Chris Tarrant and Eamon Holmes was next to him, and then they went over to do who was the Chelsea manager? I forgot his name.
Abramovich.
Jose Mourinho. Well, obviously half fans were in there.
Yeah.
TJ, you've made it.
I have made it. I'm home.
Are you?
That was a long walk.
Yeah, that's
long walk home.
Isn't
taken the bus. I could have taken the bus, then I wouldn't have been able to join because it's usually crowded at this hour. And I also wanted to go do a walk, so like, yeah, why not?
There you go. Keep it healthy.
So, what are we talking about? Where are we at?
Celebrities in wrestling.
We're now talking about WrestleMania 11 celebrities. Celebrities at Mania are sort of like going over now. We're just a bit the ISO Speed involvement in an actual match.
Yeah.
Although saying that, for the past year or so, AEW had the Costco guys in the shows.
Yeah.
It
wasn't the pre-show.
Big
Yeah, they
Justice
keep turning
and
up, don't
Big
Yeah.
Boom AJ, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean that's but at least they've been semi-consistent on. I mean, like TJ says, they've been on the pre-shows, and they've been semi-consistent in terms of like just being there every couple of months, and having a little bit of a pop from the crowd and things like that. They haven't been putting in any major storylines. They've either been feuding with or teaming up with QT Marshall. So I mean, it's not really a big deal on that score. They're not in a 6-man tag with the tag team champions against some of the most popular superstars in the company at the moment. You know.
Yeah.
Mad.
But,
although I just thought it was this like stupid like dream booking idea where during the Gunther and Seth match, Braun Breaker helps Seth, and because of that, Gunther wants to retire Scott Steiner, and it leads to a stupid match in like SummerSlam.
Scott Steiner,
because Braun Breaker like helps Seth during WrestleMania.
Yeah, but Rick Steiner's his dad.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Rick Steiner.
True, that is true. Although Scott Steiner, didn't he have a major health scare at TNA a few years ago?
Yeah,
I think everyone did. It's like right passage.
Yeah, I don't think either Steiner can ever wrestle again. Basically,
I think he's retired as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably with Gunther. He said Heyman owes him a lot more than just a big thank you. So it's probably going to be the match.
He meant sexual favors, clearly.
Yeah.
Question, like, all right, the teeth back in. Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
Could have had their first WrestleMania. Where are they?
I could have had the
Oh,
first
who
WrestleMania
cares?
last.
Like
Oh, yeah.
they, like, nah. To me, they were never going to make it in WWE, and then they never will.
The problem with machine guns is they are trying to split them up, which is a terrible idea because they can only work separately in TNA because Saban was off doing Shelley was off doing therapy, like physical therapy training, and Saban had to do solo stuff. But because they have them both, they might as well use them both together. But they're trying to do this feud between them with Gargano as the catalyst, which his own storyline is weird as well, where he has depression, but he won a match in NXT. And it's all convoluted and messy.
Yeah, we talked about that the other week, but I think that it's not going to be a split up in the end. It's going to be one of those sort of
Guys,
things.
this is taking me.
One of them thinks it's going to be turning, but actually, oh no, I'm with you. Actually, this is going to be a good idea. We'll all be a stable together.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to interject because this has taken me far too long, but I persevered. Here is Pavarotti wrestling at WrestleMania.
Is that what you've been doing this entire time?
Yes, it is. What? Why doesn't AI? Aren't there enough photos of Pavarotti on the internet for it to actually understand who it was? I had to download a picture of Pavarotti.
Oh my god! Oh, you poor
Oh my
baby.
God.
Yourself. Oh,
You had to spend 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Fuck AI.
Speaking
I
of
agree,
music
I
and
agree.
wrestling, though, I found like 2 days ago, I found out that Randy Savage did a rap album.
Oh yeah.
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 You didn't know that?
What was that?
Be a man.
Hogan.
Because you've got to remember, I got into wrestling at WrestleMania 22. So anything before it, I don't know what's happened.
It was literally just before that time period. That wasn't that far off.
Guys, I think
Yeah,
I
it's-
figured it out. I think I found...
Hogan diss tracks. Oh, sorry, TJ.
No, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
You figured what out?
I think I figured out this convolution in the WrestleMania storyline. I think I know what's going on. Remember a few months ago, we got this news that Triple H wanted to incorporate AI in WWE storytelling. Fuck AI, but this is probably Triple H asking ChatGPT or Gemini how to write stories, and they are like, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
God, are we trying to say then that AI and Road Dogg basically have the same booking ability?
Yeah.
I think
I
Road
think
Dogg
We
is
can want
better.
Road Dogg back now. It's terrifying.
Okay, I did see a story earlier saying about Triple H and booking that. Apparently, AJ Styles' new role in WWE is to be like a talent scout kind of thing. And there was something, I think it was a quote with Triple H or whatever, saying that AJ knew he wanted to still be involved in the business. He sat in on a couple of booking meetings and like looking at what agents do, and it wasn't his thing. And so now they're getting him to be a talent scout, which maybe he'll really like it or whatever. I think he'll end up as an agent within 5 years if he's going to, or he'll be working with them at NXT as a trainer and that kind of thing. Because otherwise, I feel like he's just going to be like, oh, I thought I was going to be an agent. I don't like it. He's going to wrestle for Tony Khan.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because imagine if your backup plan is just like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't think
Tangentially, you know what I need? I need Cody to release the missing podcast episodes where he got too drunk.
Cody podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cody revealed on his podcast that he didn't release 3 episodes because he got too wasted.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. I remember I saw that as well. Yeah, it's one with Alexa Bliss, I think, or something like that, which makes me really worried about what the fuck he said to Alexa Bliss during that.
Brandy would have been there. Brandy would have been there. Right.
It might come from Brandy.
It might have come from Brandy. Yeah.
More
I
ways than
feel
one.
I had a 3-way dance.
Show him, Raheem.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll in case anyone missed it on the group chat, I'll say it now. I had a little look at the free stream part of my AEW the other day for the first time, and came up with an old episode of Dynamite. The first image on my screen was Joey Janela cutting a backstage promo. and then was followed by a Nightmare Collective tag team match featuring Brandy actually wrestling. I was like,
Wow.
this is a whole other universe. Bloody hell.
Wow.
Yeah. AEW has changed since it began, except Chris Jericho is back.
Yeah,
Ah.
and Shida.
Oh, yeah, I
really?
was just about to say, what have I become?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Joey Janela, he got in trouble recently, like a few days ago, because of his promo against Broadly Jr.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he's wrestling Broadly Jr.
Yes.
at WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. What do you get in trouble for?
He's like, I really don't want to wrestle you because your mom's already buried
no.
her husband. I don't want her to bury her son as well.
See, the only one I never liked Joey Janela. I think that I always say you don't play with like real life tragedy in wrestling. You know, if someone's had like a funny injury or whatever, I want to say funny. Like no injury is funny, but if they're okay afterwards, then you can say, oh, it's like you can have a little bit of fun with it. But when people have been seriously injured, paralyzed, broken necks, broken backs, someone died, I think that's the territory you shouldn't cross into. On this same token, why is Brody Lee Jr. wrestling Joey Janela for, I assume, GCW or something like this? That seems like a dumb idea to me. I wouldn't think that's the way to do it.
See, I agree with the like not touching the death and like flowers thing, but I want to give a pass to one wrestler.
Don't say Christian.
Christian.
Cage. I knew you'd say that. Right? Nah. No, like I think that was wrong. I think like the Punk line about I'm going to bury Rome next to your father sort of thing. I just think it treads into territory where it's just like it's too easy, too cheaper form of heat or whatever. If that's even what it was.
Well, are we going to get the Larry thing now? Because he did mention it.
No, Drew actually said like there's like a rule where you can't mention pets.
That's true,
really?
though. But he mentioned Roman being bucktooth, dog food, Vince.
No, like he couldn't mention like the death of the pet, like the death of their pets as a sign of respect.
Has Vince been referred to on WWE enough times now as a weird old man that that's actually just one of his ring names? Because like that isn't the first time he's been called that on. Oh, it was funny about the dig at The Rock that Punk did.
Yeah,
and again, I think some of what Punk did there, like, does he want to match or something? If Punk knows that he's dropping the title, which he probably is, then he could go out of Mania and have something with Pat McAfee and then Randy Orton to give him what he's going to do next. That might be leaving some breadcrumbs there. Punk clearly last year or 2 years ago, whenever The Rock was last involved, Punk was clearly mentioning The Rock because he wants to be back in that mix as well. Well, yeah, exactly. He was putting in the references there, and a couple of years ago, he was saying about The Rock isn't speaking about me, but he should be. And it's like, Punk, you're desperate to keep yourself relevant with the big players, which again is the right thing to do. But it'll be interesting to see what happens out of Mania after this, because some of the people will disappear for a while. Brock will probably disappear just to reemerge in a month or two to build up to SummerSlam. If Mysterio is going to be retiring soon, which might be the plan, it's just, I feel like they're going to have a period of rebuilding after this year's Mania.
Yeah,
definitely.
Bringing in Tony D and Sol Ruka.
But you got good players there already. Because, like, you look at it, you got Oba come up, Trick, Javon, Soul, if she comes up.
People that they're already that are injured. Bron Breaker, Bronson Reed.
Yeah. So they've got them guys there as well. And
I don't know. Like, I feel like, obviously, if Breaker hadn't been injured and there was at one point a plan for him to win the Royal Rumble, that would have been interesting. But I just remember when he cut that promo where people were like, oh, this is such a big deal. I was like, to me, it felt like it fell flat, and I felt like he isn't ready. Like 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, just put this guy in a Royal Rumble and have him win or something. But when he was actually on the cusp of it, I felt like he didn't feel like he belonged, really.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I thought it was
But
like a
maybe
bit
it was
forced.
because, yeah, exactly. It felt forced. It felt like if it was just him with Heyman there, then, but him being part of this crowd, it didn't feel like, it felt like, why is he calling out CM Punk and Bronson Reed's right there and Logan Paul's right there? It just felt like, why is he the de facto leader? Because it feels like the others kind of outshine him a little bit for various reasons. Logan Paul's a bigger star and has had pay-per-view main events and things already. Bronson Reed's a bigger guy, you know, and Bron Breakker, he's a powerhouse, but he's not actually ginormous.
Yeah, it's not jacked, is he?
Yeah, well, he's jacked, but he's
not
just,
like
Powerhouse.
He's not wide.
It's his impact, isn't it? It's his sudden impact. It's his sudden speed, and it's all that, the impactfulness of him. That's
Like Lesnar was.
Yeah.
To
yeah,
extent,
but at the same time, Lesnar is this, you know. So
Lesnar is power and throwing people around, things like that. And Breakker is impact. It's sudden strikes, sudden things. Yes, there's power in there as well, but his most over stuff is when he's running. People are like gearing up to see him pelt down the aisle and take someone out of a spear. You know, it's that sort of a thing. So, but no, to your point though, Gav, there are people there that have got the potential go of being elevated, but you've got people like Roman and Seth that keep coming back and are seen as the bigger stars. Whereas like 10, 15 years ago, they were the ones who were trying to get up that totem pole, and they were given that time, which again ties into what Punk was saying about Roman being given opportunity. You know, you failed 8 times to WrestleMania, so let's see you do a 9th or whatever. This time we'll take for your 9th main event, wherever it is. But again, it's this whole thing of what I was saying earlier, that if you've got people that are now characters on the screen that are shitting on the actual product and the actual stories and what the programming actually is now, how are these new people supposed to elevate themselves or get elevated by these things? Best thing they could do, I think, at Mania for main events is, I don't know about Rhodes and Orton. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but with Punk and Roman, I think you have Punk win, and then you have Bron Breakker take the title off him the next night. If he's healthy, go with it.
Where does that? So what? So Punk retains.
Because what the fuck they're going to do with another Reigns title reign? He's going to be in and out every couple of months as usual.
Yeah.
Also, I like the fact how they never mentioned that a few years ago, Reigns absolutely buried this title. He called this the losers, the second prize, the losers bracket, and now he's going after the title. It's if he wins, he says that his reason for feuding with Punk is because he hates Punk. But once he wins, he carries the title. He carries the same title that he called the losers title a few years ago.
There's a need to fix that. It's like it was the loser's title until I held it.
You held? How? What do you mean? Who held it? You held it.
It's like
Roman could say that.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like I got my hands on it at some point. I was like, good for you, right? Okay, guys, we're gonna have to begin to wrap up in a minute because I'm having to cram in Slam Jam, Geek Battle, and Extreme Improv. But here's a couple of updates. I'll just look to see if there's any more. So here's a more recent photo of what's going on with Liv. So you can see it's all coming across the bridge of her nose, her eye, her head. But
come back from Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Where's McDonough?
Yeah, right. If you can see me performing tomorrow night, in fact, at the Camden Comedy Club. There's a clip from it.
That's tomorrow's show. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that is tomorrow's show. A little preview.
You time traveled? What?
I time traveled, yeah. But look, apparently here the reveal for which Gav stayed up. So Gav, you were part of the problem here. 1.51 million viewers, and that just feels crazy. That feels like a dreadful result for 10 years ago. But obviously times are different. But apparently,
How many of them stayed off the first quarter?
Yeah.
Sorry?
They were hoping for a Mac. They got the wrong one.
I
They were
wonder
hoping
how
for a
many
Mac
people,
Man. They got a McAfee.
I wonder how many people like me tuned out after that.
I think they should just add someone else to this. Like you've still got another week or two.
Ted
Well,
Jr.
you don't. You got 10
He's
days.
at me. He's in the Many area because he's doing a convention that weekend in Las Vegas.
Who is?
The only thing,
Ted Jr.
Ted no one cares about Ted Jr. Like,
yeah. The only one
Ted
that
Jr. doesn't care about Ted Jr. So
I think we've had it with earlier on. Get fucking Kevin Owens involved. Come on.
yeah, Kevin Owens. You know,
or The Rock.
The Rock.
Vince, Shane, Tony Khan.
I wonder if they have picked up the phone to The Rock and been like, "We're not selling enough tickets. Come in and save this thing."
And he's going to be like, I'll be there, right there, because it runs in my blood, in my fat. And then he no-shows.
Yeah.
What they should do, if they are going to have something with The Rock, they should make it look like The Rock is coming back to do something about Roman, maybe even something to do about Punk. And if they were to do this on Raw next week, and then he's at night one of WrestleMania and he's backstage and he has some sort of thing, and he's like, tomorrow I'm going to be there, Roman, blah, blah, blah. But then he was to turn up for Cody in the main event. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I've had this horrible image in my head of The Rock turning up and turning WrestleMania into Maui Mania and promoting the Moana movie.
I'd love it if he was wearing the fake bodysuit that he had on for that movie.
And the hair.
Yeah.
And the hair.
And the hair, yeah.
I was
That
going to
is
ask,
the
who
worst
do you
costume.
guys think is going to win?
Maui.
Oh, Cody and
What,
Randy.
who? What, who's
Heel
gonna win?
Cody. Cody and Randy.
Cody and Randy.
I desperately want Randy to win. Right. And it's not that I'm desperate for Cody to lose at this point, but I think Randy, if he's going to have a shot, you've got such a story there with the amount of world titles he's had, but he's a couple behind. He needs to have this win now, just so that he can be like from WrestleMania, have this prominence. And then if he loses it around SummerSlam, then he could pick it up again at the end of next year. Sorry, at the end of this year, or whatever. He could lose it, and then just quietly, it's like, oh, he's on 16 as well.
Yeah,
you know, just they could just get it in there, you know, without it being such a thing. Because obviously people would be talking about the 16, but it would be like, well, it's not the 17, and he could literally kind of quiet it down by like, I don't want to talk about that until I'm close to 17. But you should be like, but I ain't ever losing this. And so,
are we going to say that Triple H is going to have to let go of his ego and let Randy go above him?
I think he will. Like, I never understood why Triple H just suddenly stopped winning world titles at a certain point. Like, it was about 4 or 5 years before he was forced to retire. He was just never winning world titles anymore. And I felt like he purposely didn't want to be.
The weird thing is, like, as he grew up and matured in quotation marks, he realized that he needed to put other people over at some point in his career.
Yeah.
And that's why he stopped winning.
Yeah, I also think for Triple H's ego, he'd rather have Randy have the 17 or even the 18th title reign than Cena, because at the end of the day, Randy still.
It's one of his boys.
Yeah, true.
Also, I think the timing of it was a little bit like, well, NXT was now a thing, and he was running NXT. And I think him and Stephanie were positioning themselves to take over. Like the whole thing, it was like what actually happened in reality, where suddenly McMahon has a scandal over him, and suddenly Stephanie becomes the head of the company. Now, suddenly she stepped down when it was suddenly Vince forced his way back in to sell the company, but it still ended up leaving Triple H as the one running the company. I think this, at some point in the future, some huge conspiratorial thing will come out where there was stuff to this.
Have you not heard?
What?
There's been like leaked messages that came out.
I didn't see what this was. What was it? Something about why
Yeah,
is Triple H saying, why is he here? And Nick Khan was
Yeah.
redacted or something.
And basically, Nick Khan saved Triple H's job, apparently. 'Cause,
Ah.
like,
Yeah,
Triple H was
And
saying that he's
also-
going to be out of it.
Nick
Sorry?
Khan becomes the vice president of WWE. He's childhood friends with The Rock. And within a couple of years, suddenly The Rock is buying the XFL from Vince. And there's all of this chess game happening around Vince. And we've said in the past, before it happened, Vince would never give up WWE.
No.
And suddenly all of this scandal and stuff happens. And suddenly he's completely out. And The Rock is now on the board of... From one day, you see The Rock and McMahon in the same photo, and now The Rock is on the board of directors. That was the last photo of McMahon being part of WWE.
Yeah.
There is some major... This is like in...
Game of Thrones.
Well, I was going to say, it's Spider-Man, when you've got the Green Goblin. What's it, like,
You can't do this to me.
You can't take me out of my company. It's like, this literally did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the details aren't there, but it's obvious that there is something happened in this regard.
Okay, so I'm going to do this and say allegedly because I have this wild crackpot theory that Nick Khan tried the company to cut costs, but that set the motion of someone like goading. I'm going to say allegedly again, goading. In fact, this is fantasy, but it's same as goaded Jamal Grant to file lawsuits at that moment so they could oust McMahon and replace him with another person. And as part of the deal, save Triple H's job.
The thing which I'll say, which I think we could probably all agree on, is that whatever the accusations about Vince are, that is a man that would have dirt on him if people could get it. And people found it and it was taken advantage of. Yeah. You know, so regardless of her situation and
they needed to get rid of him, and that's what they used.
He was someone that got a target on his back. Because look, even when you go back, even this thing a week or two ago, where it turned out that Tony Khan had bid for WWE, you know, and that was crazy that his bid was off by about $2.5 billion. Yeah, $2.5 billion off. But you know, you could sit down and like work out all of the chess pieces of who's trying to take this, and like Tony Khan needs to get some stuff in place as well, because otherwise. So, do you remember a few years ago when he said if something ever happened to him, he'd put Daniel Bryan in charge? I'm like, oh, you don't have a inner circle around you that's the same as obviously McMahon built up with his Pat Pattersons and stuff like this. So
yeah, I mean, look at what Punk did to him.
Because look, you know, if Tony Khan if something bad happened or he became incapacitated, would Shad keep AEW in business? I think he would just fold it. He'd sell it off or something like this. Yeah, he'd sell it off. Anyway, guys, on this note, we've kind of overrun because it had to be a little bit of a shorter show. But let's find out where we can find everyone on the socials. TJ.
You can find me on Instagram, TJ_ROYX. Make some artwork, share some memes. So yeah, you can find me there. Otherwise, you can find me here next week.
Awesome. Dev.
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name FWDAT. You can also find me on Geek Battle and
Okay, Dave.
David Jervis Green everywhere, and LAPD Improv on Improv Circles, and Southend 48 Hour Improvathon is happening next weekend, and I can't wait. So please follow at Southend 48 Thon for details about that.
Awesome. Gav.
Don't follow me.
Okay, and I'm David Stansky for Slam Jam. Follow at Slam Jam Show or at Slam Jam Wrestling. Between the two, you'd find the show on everything. So with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep slamming and jamming your Slam Jam Broners, and boom, we are off the air.
Just as a side note, what if we've been watching TJ